So I'd love to take a moment and encourage you who are single. Uh, these words, no doubt, will be applicable to any and really all of us, but also have recognized and really have an increasing burden to speak to the singles who are experiencing some uniqueness and the pain and the loneliness. And so, how do you walk in this season well as a single? And I immediately thought of Psalm 142. It was it's when David is running away from Saul and he's hiding in a cave, and it's a moment where he's alone, overwhelmed by what's outside, and experiencing loneliness. And one of the things that is clear is that he is honest about his pain. In fact, in the first couple verses, it says, "With my voice I cry out to the Lord. With my voice I plead for mercy to the Lord. Listen, I pour out my complaint before him. I pour it out. I don't hold back." And I want to encourage you. In pain, it's easy for us to cover, minimize, manage our pain away. But as Christians, we have been, by grace, free to be honest with it before the Lord, and that he welcomes that. And so you who are struggling, my encouragement to you is, are you being honest? Please be honest about your pain. Don't cover it up, manage it. Don't uh, really minimize it by Netflix, alcohol, eating, anything that minimizes what you're feeling. What you're feeling is meant to be expressed to the Lord. So bring it to him. I think some of us, what you need is sometimes just sitting with the Lord and pouring out your pain. For us, this pain could one be a painful loneliness. Like David felt that. He says, "There is none who take notice of me." Like some of you know that feeling. Like who's thinking about me? And what? As one friend of mine, she said, one of my fears as a single is when I get sick, or if I get sick, who cares for me? That's overwhelming feeling to have when you are aware that you don't get a hug, or you can't see a friend, and all you have is loneliness, or even just dogs. But dogs will never supply that need. What do you do with that? Well, you bring it to the Lord, or maybe with that loneliness is the lies that come up. One of my closest friends who is single, and I was asking him, "And what are some of the challenges?" And he said, "Man, it's in these seasons, it's very easy to believe lies, um, and insecurities, like nobody misses me, nobody cares, and even if I reach out to all my married friends, like I'm going to only be a bother." And man, those lies, that especially when you're wrestling with insecurities, bring them to the Lord. Or maybe it's the pain of the Lord growing you, and that hurts. Like one dear sister I talked to, she said, "Man, what the Lord is doing in this quarantine season is stripping identity away. The things that she placed identity in, work and relationships, is now it's now gone, and how it was, and He is stripping away and regrounding her in Him." And the pain of sanctification, often we just try to buck up and say, "Well, it's the Lord." It's like it is, but He does not mind you expressing how hard that is. See, we serve a Savior who was in a garden, dealing with loneliness. Friends were failing to be what He needed in that moment. He was overwhelmed with what He was called to walk through, and He cried out, said, "Lord, is there another way?" But then He ended and said, "Your will be done." And maybe in this season, to you who are single and crying out in your loneliness and asking the Lord, "Is there another way?" And maybe one encouragement you would have is, you have never looked more like your Savior than you do now. Maybe the Lord is molding and forming you. And maybe it's not maybe it is. He is forming you. He is molding you. And you are looking more like Jesus. And many times we think it's easy, but it's in that lonely crying out and willing submission that we really do look like Jesus. So be honest about your pain. Bring it to the Lord. Allow Him to grow you and find encouragement that you are not alone. As Jesus was in that garden, He so knows what you feel. And He doesn't just know it, He's coming to be with you in your moment as you pour out your complaint to the Lord. So, single, lean into the Lord, lean into that pain. He welcomes that, and He will come near to you in that. I love you.